So very good afternoon to all present over here, and once again welcome back to our course of control system. And in the last lecture we started unit number 3 of our course, and the title of unit number 3 is time domain analysis of control system. So what do you mean by time domain analysis? It is simply we are trying to study how the response or how the output of control system is going to vary with respect to time when it is provided some input in the form of excitation. So that process is called as time domain analysis of control system. And in the last lecture, I told you that the total time response of a control systems are classified into two main component or two different part. First one is called as transient response and second one is called as steady state response. Now what is transient response? It is nothing but the response generated by a system before it reaches to its final steady state value. It may be exponential one, it may be oscillatory one, again it may be overdamped or underdamped with respect to final steady state value. But whatever the response generated by a system before it reached to its final steady state value, that response is called as transient response of that system, and it is denoted by symbol Ct of t. And I told you that in order to achieve a final steady state value by any system, it must go through a satisfactory transient period and it must vanish over a specific duration of time. That means the system is said to be stable if the value of transient period of that system must be vanishes over a specific duration of time. And hence mathematically for any stable system we can write limit t tends to infinite Ct of t must be equal to 0. कहने का मतलब है कि अगर आपका कोई सिस्टम है और वो स्टेबल है तो हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू आइडेंटिफाई वेदर द सिस्टम इज स्टेबल और नॉट? Just try to evaluate the value of transient period, and if the value of that transient period is going to vanish for a specific duration of time, that means we can say that the response of the system is trying to reach to its final value. So in that aspect we can say that the system is absolutely stable. Then we discussed the significance of transient response. So what values we can obtain via transient response analysis of a control system. So first thing is that we can determine the time constant of a system. Then we are in a position to make a comment on the nature of response, whether it is exponential one or it is oscillatory one. Then we can have the flexibility to make a comment on what will be the rate of change of output, and finally on the system stability by applying this logic. Then we discussed in detail about the concept of steady state response. So it is the part of total response which remain once the transient response is completely over. So whatever the remaining portion out of total response, once the transient response is over, that remaining response is known as steady state response. And it is denoted by symbol Css of t. And with the help of this transient, or you can say steady state response analysis, we are in a position to determine the value of steady state error, or you can say ESS. So what is steady state error? It is simply the difference between the desired output and the actual output. So that difference we can easily find out via steady state response analysis of a control system. And mathematically, as I told you that total time response is a combination of two components. So this Ct of t indicate your transient response, and this Css of t indicate the steady state response. So total C of t is nothing but a combination of these two. And then we took a simple example of a control system to which we applied some input in the form of excitation. Let us consider that we applied some input in the form of step, and then it is going to generate some output in the form of response. So this is what the response is, and this portion indicate the transient response and this portion indicate the steady state response of a control system. And this, the difference between the actual value and the desired value, is known as steady state error. Then we discussed in detail about the concept of standard test input signal. So why we want standard test input signal? Because in order to examine the time response analysis of a control system, we must excite that control system by some standard test input signal. And we are having total 4 different types of standard test input signal with us. First one is called a step input, which is also called a step function or displacement function type input signal. Then ramp input signal followed by velocity. Then parabolic input signal, sometimes it is also called as acceleration function type input excitation. and last one is impulse input signal. And then I told you that you must answer the following questions: that why we are having only 4 different types of standard test input signal, why they are called as standard test input signal, what is the physical significance of these input signal, and you must give some practical examples of each of the type. So to answer these questions, we consider a simple electrical circuit where we are having a resistor, and to that resistor we need to apply 20 volt as an input via this switch. So this is our objective. That our objective is nothing but we want to supply this 20 volt which is available with us in the form of excitation across this resistor, which is indicated by symbol capital R. So what are the different techniques through which we can have the flexibility to provide that 20 volt as an input across this resistor R? So we discussed some 4 different cases. In case number 1, at time t equal to 0, we close the switch and entire 20 volt is applied as an input across that resistor, and that voltage remain across that resistor throughout the span. So this type of excitation is one case. That means जो भी आपके पास में 20 वोल्ट इनपुट में अवेलेबल है, पूरा का पूरा सिंगल स्ट्रोक में आपने अप्लाई कर दिया और वो हमेशा उतना ही रहेगा, unless and until the energy associated with that battery is remain constant. Then second case, in which at time t equal to 0 plus we close the switch, and then linearly and gradually, this is very important, linearly and gradually we are increasing the value of that 20 volt step by step. So ultimately our objective is we want to supply this 20 volt as an input across this resistor capital R. So in case number 2, what we are going to do, we will close the switch at time t equal to 0 plus, and linearly and gradually we are increasing the value of that 20 volt from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 20 volt. And if you see the pictorial representation of input voltage versus time, it is something like this. So this type of excitation is called as ramp input excitation. And then case number 3, in which at time t equal to 0 plus we close the switch, and all of a sudden with non-linearity, or you can say with more gradualness as compared to ramp input signal, we are trying to increase the value of this input 20 volt, and we will apply as an excitation across this particular resistor. And the tabulated form is shown over here. That means at time t equal to 0 we applied 0 volt, at time t equal to 1 we apply 1 volt, at time t equal to 2 seconds we apply 4 volt, then 9 volt, 16 volt, and finally at time t equal to 5 seconds we applied entire 20 volt as an input across this particular resistor. And the pictorial view is something like this. And this is called as a parabolic input excitation because we included non-linearity while applying that voltage across that resistor. And the fourth case, which is very special, in which at time t equal to 0 we close the switch and entire 20 volt is applied as an input across the resistor, and at very next instant, that means at time t equal to 0 plus, maybe say few millisecond or say few microsecond or nanosecond, we will open the switch and remove all the 20 volt which is applied as an input. So this is the first case. At time t equal to 0 we close the switch. So at this condition, or entire 20 volt is appearing across your resistor capital R, and at time t equal to 0 plus or very next movement we will open the switch and the voltage across the resistor is going to be 0. So this is what the tabulated version, and this is what the pictorial view of applied voltage across resistor. So this is the fourth case, and this case is called as impulse input excitation. So these are the various techniques, or you can say method, to provide input to any physical system. Whatever the input which we are having with us in the form of excitation, that we can provide to any physical system either via case 1, which is called as step input excitation, or via case 2, in which we are trying to increase the value of input voltage, or you can say input function linearly and gradually step by step. That type of excitation is called as ramp input excitation. Or in case number 3, we will try to increase the value of input voltage with some non-linearity. So jitne bhi non-linearity aapke paas mein honge, that we are going to encounter in case number 3, and that type of excitation is called as parabolic input excitation. And in case number 4, we are going to provide input in the form of excitation to a system in the form of shock. All of a sudden aapne pura input voltage provide kiya, and very next moment you are going to take away the applied input voltage. So that is case number 4, and that type of excitation is called as impulse input excitation. बिकॉज हमारे पास 4 ही तरीके हैं, दैट्स व्हाई दीज 4 डिफरेंट मेथड्स टू प्रोवाइड इनपुट टू ए फिजिकल सिस्टम्स आर कॉल्ड एज स्टैंडर्ड टेस्ट इनपुट सिग्नल। तो अगर आपने आपके सिस्टम का बिहेवियर इन 4 इनपुट केसेस में स्टडी कर लिया, तो बाकी जितने भी सिग्नल्स आपके यूनिवर्स में अवेलेबल रहेंगे वो इन 4 सिग्नल के ही कॉम्बिनेशन से बनेंगे। सो आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कि अगर मेरे सिस्टम ने ये 4 सिग्नल पे प्रॉपरली काम किया तो बट ऑब्वियस है यूनिवर्स में कोई भी सिग्नल अवेलेबल हो, मेरा सिस्टम प्रॉपरली उस पर काम कर पाएगा। दैट इज द रीजन इफ यू हैव डिजाइन सम न्यू system and if you are trying to analyze how the system is going to behave if some type of input is provided in the form of excitation to it, then in that case we need to identify or we need to analyze the time response analysis of that particular system by providing these test input signal in the form of excitation to that. तो हम लोग वो सिस्टम को रैंप इनपुट अप्लाई करेंगे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एक्साइटेशन और स्टडी करेंगे कि आउटपुट क्या होता है। फिर इसके बाद स्टेप इनपुट अप्लाई करेंगे और देखेंगे आउटपुट क्या आता है। फिर पैराबोलिक इनपुट अप्लाई करेंगे, देखेंगे आउटपुट क्या आता है। और फिर उसके बाद इम्पल्स अप्लाई करेंगे, चेक करेंगे कि जो कंपोनेंट्स है which plays an important role to fabricate that control system, whether they are going to sustain the impulse shock or not. And that is the significance of these standard test input signal. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
ओके ओके ओके। सो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ केस में अगर आप देखोगे जो भी इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस या फिर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ केस में हमारे पास जो फिजिकल सिस्टम होता है उसका स्टडी करने के लिए हम लोग नॉर्मली केस 1 को प्रिफर करते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल जैसा मैंने लास्ट लेक्चर में भी आपको बताया था, इफ यू हैव इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंस से इलेक्ट्रिकल लोड आपके पास में है, फॉर एग्जांपल फैन है और घरों में हमारे पास फैन होता है और उसको अगर आपको इनपुट एक्साइटेशन देना भी है तो नॉर्मली हम लोग केस 1 को प्रीफर करते हैं। द मोमेंट यू क्लोज द स्विच, जो भी 230 वोल्ट आपके पास में अवेलेबल है, स्ट्रेट अवे दैट 230 वोल्ट वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई एज एन इनपुट अक्रॉस दैट स्टेटर वाइंडिंग ऑफ द फैन एंड डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दैट 230 वोल्ट सिंगल फेज एसी सप्लाई आपका फैन जो है वो फंक्शनिंग शुरू कर देता है। इट विल रोटेट एट 1000 आरपीएम और 1500 आरपीएम डिपेंडिंग अपॉन इट्स रेटेड स्पीड। So that type of excitation is called a step input excitation. In the same way, if you have a bulb, मान लो आपके घर में बल्ब है और उसको अगर आपको ऑन करना है तो द मोमेंट यू क्लोज द स्विच, जो भी उसका रिक्वायर्ड वोल्टेज है से 230 वोल्ट इनपुट एसी सप्लाई, that entire 230 volt you are providing as input to that particular load and that will remain constant unless and until you are not going to open that switch. तो जब तक आप उस स्विच को ओपन नहीं करोगे आपने उसको स्टेप इनपुट एक्साइटेशन दे दिया और अब आप स्टडी कर रहे हो कि उसका रिस्पॉन्स कैसा रहेगा। तो वो बल्ब जो है वो कंटिन्यूअसली आपको इल्यूमिनेशन प्रोवाइड करेगा एज एन आउटपुट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लाइट एनर्जी। सो दिस इज व्हाट द फिजिकल सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ स्टेप इनपुट एक्साइटेशन। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना। अगर मान लो मैंने आपको बोला कि मुझे एक इम्पल्स इनपुट एक्साइटेशन देना है मेरे लोड को, तो आप क्या करोगे? स्विच ऑन करोगे एंड फॉर अ वेरी नेक्स्ट मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम, व्हेन आई से वेरी नेक्स्ट मोमेंट दैट मींस यू नीड टू again open that switch for a very short span of time, maybe in say microsecond or say in nanosecond. So अगर आपने स्विच ऑन किया एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन आपने स्विच को वापस से ऑफ कर दिया, तो जो टाइप का आपको रिस्पॉन्स स्टडी में आएगा दैट इज नथिंग बट द इनपुट एक्साइटेशन रिस्पॉन्स एनालिसिस ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम। या फिर अगर आपको किसी एक पर्टिकुलर लोड को रैंप इनपुट एक्साइटेशन देना है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इनपुट, तो आप क्या करेंगे कि आपने स्विच ऑन करना है और जो आपका 230 वोल्ट एसी सप्लाई है, क्योंकि घरों में हमारे पास में सिंगल फेज 230 वोल्ट ही होता है, उसको आप लोग डीमोस्टैट के थ्रू ग्रेजुअली एंड लीनियरली इंक्रीज करोगे। फॉर एग्जांपल एट टाइम टी इक्वल टू 1 सेकंड आपने 0 वोल्ट या फिर 1 वोल्ट अप्लाई किया, एट टाइम टी इक्वल टू 10 सेकंड आपने 10 वोल्ट अप्लाई किया, 20 पे 20 वोल्ट अप्लाई किया। और इस फैशन में अगर आप ग्रेजुअली और लीनियरली वोल्टेज को धीरे धीरे करके बढ़ाते जा रहे हो और उसके हिसाब से आपके सिस्टम का बिहेवियर आप स्टडी कर रहे हो, तो आप बोल सकते हो कि मैं वो सिस्टम का रैंप इनपुट एक्साइटेशन देके एनालिसिस कर रहा हूं। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what the basic philosophy behind standard test input signal and why we are having only 4 standard test input signal. So this is very very important, very practical. So from this lecture onwards, अगर आपको किसी ने भी पूछा कि what is the meaning of test input signal or can you give the practical example of step input signal और ramp input signal, तो आपने कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ में बताना है कि एक्चुअल में ये जो टेस्ट इनपुट सिग्नल है वो क्या है और उसका फिजिकल सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है। ठीक है? आई होप सभी को समझ में आया है।
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now write down some theoretical aspect related to this. So I want you to write down this standard test input signal. I hope आपने वो 4 test input signal लिखे हैं. Only their name: step input, ramp input, parabolic input, and impulse input. Now we are going to write some mathematical function in correlation with each of them one by one. So write down first point, step input signal, and in that you need to write down step function is described as a sudden application of input signal as shown below. So step function is described as a sudden application of input signal as shown below. So this is what the pictorial representation of step input signal. Let me check, is anybody is waiting for? No. So this is what the pictorial representation for step input signal. So I want you to please draw this diagram. On x-axis we indicate time in second, and on y-axis we indicate r of t. So this r of t is nothing but your reference input signal in time domain, and here this capital R indicate the magnitude of that particular signal. And mathematically we can write step input function like this. So this is the mathematical representation of step input signal. R of t is nothing but capital R for t greater than or equal to 0, and it is equals to 0 for t less than 0. That means if the value of t is equal to or more than 0 for all these value of time, the magnitude of that signal is going to be R. And if the value of t is less than 0, the magnitude of signal is going to be what? 0. So this is the mathematical representation of step function. So R of t is nothing but capital R for t greater than or equal to 0, and R of t equal to 0 for t less than 0. I want you to please write down this mathematical representation for step function. हो गया लिख के आपका?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, below that, write down if the value of R is 1, then in that case the function is known as unit step function. So if the value of R is going to be 1, then the step function is called as unit step function. Now in this case you need to remember one thing, that in case of unit step function, this unit stand for the magnitude of that particular function. As I told you that, see this picture here, this R indicate the magnitude of that particular function or the magnitude of that particular input signal. So when I say the value of R is nothing but 1, so in case of unit step signal, that unit indicate that the magnitude of that particular signal is nothing but 1. This you have to remember. If R is 1, then the step function is called as unit step function, and here this unit indicate the magnitude of that particular function. And suppose if you are interested to obtain the Laplace transform, so the Laplace transform is given by Laplace transform of 1 is nothing but 1 by s. So for unit step function, because R is nothing but 1, so if you take Laplace transform of 1, it is going to be equal to 1 by s. So this 1 by s indicate the Laplace transform for unit step function. And suppose if it is not a unit step function, it is simply a step function, then in that case the value of that signal is nothing but R. So in that case the value of a Laplace transform is nothing but R by s. So here if R is nothing but 1, then in that case it is going to be 1 by s. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want you to write down this. The Laplace transform of unit step function is given by L of 1, which is nothing but 1 by s. And sometimes this step function is also called as displacement function. So you have to remember this adjacent name for each and every function. So when it is mentioned that the system is excited by some displacement function, that means the system is excited by step function. तो बहुत बार न्यूमेरिकल में ऐसा पूछा गया है, इंस्टेड ऑफ मेंशनिंग स्टेप फंक्शन वो बोलेंगे कि जो सिस्टम है उसको हमने इनपुट एक्साइटेशन दिया है डिस्प्लेसमेंट के फॉर्म में, That means आपको समझ में आना चाहिए कि displacement function ही आपका step function. So it is your responsibility to identify the step response of that particular system. I hope आपने लिख लिया है.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write down second. Second is ramp input signal. Now write down definition for ramp input signal. Ramp signal is described as a gradual application. This is very important. Gradual means we are trying to increase the value of voltage with linearity. So ramp signal is described as a gradual application of input signal as shown. So this is the pictorial representation for ramp input signal. So on y-axis we indicate R of t, which is the reference input signal. On x-axis we indicate time, t in second, and this R is indicate the slope of this particular graph. This is very important. So ramp signal is described as a gradual application of input signal as shown below. And the mathematical representation for ramp function is something like this. So R of t equal to capital R into t for t greater than equal to 0, and the signal is going to be 0 for t less than 0. So this is the mathematical representation for ramp input signal. So small r of t is equal to capital R of t multiplied by small t for t greater than or equal to 0, and R of t is 0 for t less than 0. Now in this case, if the value of R is 1, then in that case the ramp input signal is called as unit ramp input signal. I want you to please write down this mathematical representation for ramp function via these two equations. हो गया आपका लिख के?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write down. If the value of R is 1, then R of t is going to be equal to small t, because if you see the mathematical expression, R of t is nothing but capital R into small t. But if capital R is 1, then in that case R of t is going to be equal to small t. And in this case, this ramp function is called as unit ramp function. Now one thing you need to remember, that in case of unit ramp function, this unit stand for the slope of that particular function. जैसा हम लोगों ने यूनिट स्टेप में देखा था, यूनिट स्टेप फंक्शन में जो यूनिट है वो स्टैंड करता है मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन. जब मैं बोलता हूँ कि मेरे पास में जो मेरा स्टेप फंक्शन है वो यूनिट स्टेप फंक्शन है, तो वहां यूनिट स्टैंड करता है कि वो फंक्शन का जो मैग्नीट्यूड है वो 1 है. जबकि अगर मेरा रैम्प फंक्शन है और मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मेरे रैम्प फंक्शन में r की वैल्यू 1 है, सो हियर यूनिट स्टैंड फॉर स्लोप ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन इज नथिंग बट 1. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और ये थ्योरेटिकल क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है एग्जाम में. क्वेश्चन इस तरीके से फ्रेम हुआ था ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन पेपर में कि इन केस ऑफ यूनिट स्टेप फंक्शन, यूनिट स्टैंड फॉर, एंड ऑप्शंस थे मैग्नीट्यूड, स्लोप, एरिया, नन ऑफ अबव. और आंसर रहेगा इन केस ऑफ यूनिट स्टेप फंक्शन, यूनिट स्टैंड फॉर मैग्नीट्यूड. In case of unit ramp function, unit stand for slope of that particular function. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
This is very important, और ये बहुत बहुत crucial points है. इस पे MCQ questions frame होते हैं. बहुत बार RRB में पूछा गया है ये क्वेश्चन, theoretical question है, 1 मार्क के लिए आता है. So Laplace transform of unit ramp function is something like this. L of t is nothing but 1 by s square, because if you put r equal to 1, the value of signal is small t, and if you take Laplace transform of t, it is nothing but 1 by s square. And sometimes ramp function is also called as velocity function. So you have to remember the alternate name for ramp input excitation. It is velocity function. So I want you to please write down or note down all these points related to ramp input signal or ramp input excitation. In case of unit step, unit stand for magnitude. In case of unit ramp, unit stand for the slope of that particular signal. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Write down next, parabolic input signal. Now, what do you mean by parabolic input signal? So parabolic function is described as more gradual application. This is very important. More gradual application of input signal as compared to ramp input signal. सो रैंप में हम लोगों ने कंसिडर किया था लीनियरिटी को, ग्रेजुअली हम लोग इनपुट को बढ़ा रहे थे, जबकि पैराबोलिक में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, मोर ग्रेजुअलनेस इंक्लूड करेंगे, दैट मींस वी आर शिफ्टिंग फ्रॉम लीनियरिटी टू नॉन लीनियरिटी. So parabolic function is described as a more gradual application of input signal in comparison with ramp input signal, and it is shown like this. So here, if you consider the slope of this entire structure, it is nothing but a product of RT. So this RT indicate the entire slope. And mathematically, parabolic function is given by like this. So this is the mathematical representation for parabolic function. R of t is nothing but capital R into t square by 2 for t greater than equal to 0, and the signal is going to be 0 for t less than 0. So जब t का वैल्यू आपका 0 से कम रहेगा तो magnitude of that signal is going to be 0, हमेशा 0 रहेगा. And if the value of t is greater than or equal to 0, the function is something like this, having a slope exactly equal to RT. So in this case, we are trying to apply input in the form of excitation to that particular system in the form of non-linearity, and hence it is called as parabolic, or you can say the structure looks like a parabol, that's why it is called as parabolic input signal. So write down these two equations which indicate the mathematical representation for parabolic function. Small r of t is capital R into t square by 2 for t greater than or equal to 0, and it is 0 for t less than 0. And then if you put r equal to 1, the function is something like this. Small r of t is nothing but capital R into t square by 2, but r is 1, so it is t square by 2. And then in that case, the function is called as unit parabolic function. And if you try to calculate the Laplace transform, it is something like this. So Laplace transform of t square by 2. So 1 by 2 you will take common. Laplace transform of t square is nothing but 2 into 1 divided by s cube. 2 will get cancelled, and you will get Laplace transform of unit parabolic function as 1 by s cube. So this you have to remember. And sometimes parabolic function is also called as acceleration function. Acceleration function. Step is known as your position, then ramp is known as velocity, and parabolic is known as acceleration function. Now the question is that in case of unit parabolic function, what this unit signifies? Unit क्या indicate करता है? ये आपको find out करना है. जैसा मैंने आपको बताया था, in case of unit step, unit stand for magnitude. In case of unit ramp, unit stand for slope. Then in case of unit parabolic function, what this unit signifies, that you have to find out. कर पाएंगे? Let's try, and then we will discuss what this unit stand for. I hope आपने ये सब लिख लिया है.
Yes, sir. Sir, please show once again that backslide.
Okay. This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take your time. Write down each and every point which are displaying on this PPT, because these are very important points, and you have to remember each and everything. You must know the mathematical representation for each and every standard test input signal. You must know the Laplace transform of unit step, unit ramp, unit parabolic, and unit impulse function, and their alternate name also, because these are the base for the topic which we are going to learn in the coming sessions. So बार बार हमें सब लॉजिक्स वहाँ इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, बार बार आपको स्टेप इनपुट सिग्नल, रैंप इनपुट सिग्नल, पैराबोलिक इनपुट सिग्नल के लैप्लास फॉर्म लगने वाले हैं. तो आपने सभी बातें बहुत ध्यान से पढ़नी है और समझ के पढ़नी है. हो गया आपका लिख के?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also write all these points. So in case of unit parabolic function, the Laplace transform is 1 upon s cube, and parabolic function is also known as acceleration function. This is very important. Now, next type is case number 4, or last type, which is called as impulse input signal. Now, what is impulse input signal or impulse input function? So in case of impulse function, the input is applied as a shock for every short duration of time. This is very important. That means whatever the input which we are having, we are straight away applying that input all of a sudden to a system, and for a very next moment of time, we are going to take away that applied input voltage. That means we are going to apply the input in the form of shock for a short duration of time. And the graphical representation for impulse input signal is shown like this. So on y-axis, we indicate small r of t, and on x-axis, we indicate small t. And this indicate a short span of time where we apply this input signal in the form of excitation across our system. This is very important. Now here, this capital R indicate the area, or you can say right now it is indicating the magnitude of that particular system. But if you take a unit impulse signal, then in that case, this unit stand for the area covered by this particular graph. So mathematically, we can write impulse function as r of t equal to 1 for t equal to 0 and r of t equal to 0 for t not equal to 0. That means the value of the signal is exist only at t equal to 0. So if t equal to 0 पे ये signal की value exist करेंगे, and that is nothing but 1. So here this 1 indicate the area under this particular curve. This is very important. So in case of unit impulse function, that unit stand for area of that particular curve or area under that particular curve. So इसके अंदर में जो भी area रहेगा, ये area का जो value है वो रहेगा आपका 1, which is very important. In case of unit impulse function, this 1 stand for area. In case of unit step, 1 stand for magnitude. In case of unit ramp, 1 stand for its slope. And I told you to find out the answer. What will be the significance of unit in case of unit parabolic function? That you have to search and tell me. So mathematically, we can write impulse function like this: r of t equal to 1 for t equal to 0, and it is equals to 0 for rest of the value. So can you just imagine कि जो signal है सिर्फ t equal to 0 पे ही exist होगा. t equal to 0 पे signal का value 1 है, which indicate the area under that particular curve, and apart from that, the value of signal is going to be 0. So theoretically, it may possible to have signal like this, but practically, the value of t equal to 0 is not exist now. So we need to define this delta t maybe in terms of say millisecond, microsecond, nanosecond, or picosecond. That means for a very short duration of time, we are going to apply that voltage in the form of excitation to that particular system, and then we remove that applied voltage. Delta t बहुत छोटा होगा, milli, micro, nano, picosecond में रहेगा. So if you apply input to a system in this way, then it is called as impulse input excitation. Now suppose if you are interested to calculate the Laplace transform for impulse input signal, it is nothing but 1. I hope आप लोगों ने Laplace transform का revision किया है, and impulse input signal का Laplace transform अगर आप निकालोगे तो वो हमेशा 1 रहेगा, बरोबर है? Please justify the Laplace transform for impulse function. Sakshi, what will be the value of Laplace transform for impulse function? अच्छा 1 रहता है कि नहीं रहता है, या कुछ और रहेगा?
Sir, it will be 1.
It will be 1. Okay. Now let's try to prove that whether we are getting the same value or not. So write down. If the magnitude of impulse function is unity, then it is called as unit impulse function. And suppose if you are trying to calculate the Laplace transform of impulse function, so we can write here like this. If you take the derivative of ramp function, we will get step function as an output. In the same way, if you take derivative of step function, if you take the derivative of step function, you will get impulse function as an output. कहने का मतलब है कि अगर आपके पास में स्टेप है और स्टेप का अगर आप डेरिवेटिव लेते हो तो आपको रैंप मिलेगा. In the same way, impulse मिलेगा. In the same way, if you have ramp function, ramp का अगर आप डेरिवेटिव लेते हो तो आपको स्टेप मिलेगा. In the same way, if you have parabolic function और parabolic का अगर आपने डेरिवेटिव लिया तो आपको क्या मिलेगा? रैम्प फंक्शन मिलेगा. So same logic यहाँ हम लोग अप्लाई करेंगे and try to find out what will be the Laplace transform for impulse function. So mathematically we can write unit impulse function is nothing but d by dt of unit step function. So if you take derivative of unit step function, you will get impulse function. Now if you apply Laplace transform of both sides, we can write like this. Laplace transform of unit impulse function is nothing but Laplace transform of d by dt of unit step function. Now in this case, we need to apply the property of Laplace transform. And what will be the property? If you take Laplace transform derivative, we need to multiply it by s. So here on LHS, we are having Laplace transform of unit impulse function, which is going to be equal to s into Laplace transform of unit step function. ये समझ में आया आपको?
Yes, sir.
Now, previously, we know that what will be the Laplace transform unit step function? Unit step function का Laplace transform क्या रहेगा? अभी हमने derive किया है. Laplace transform for unit step function is 1 by s.
1 by s.
Exactly.
1 by s.
If you put 1 by s, ss will get cancelled, and finally you will have the Laplace transform of unit impulse function as a unity. Hence proved. This is very important. That means the Laplace transform of unit impulse function is 1. आप ऐसे भी प्रूव कर सकते हो या फिर डायरेक्टली भी आप स्टैंडर्ड जो फॉर्मूला है Laplace ट्रांसफॉर्म का, if you have a function f of t which lie within the range from 0 to infinite, so you can apply that mathematical formula integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus st f of t dt. Put the value of f of t as your impulse function, and the impulse function exists only at t equal to 0. So f of t का value 1 रहेगा where t equal to 0. So if you solve that integration, you will get the value as 1. तो वहां से भी आप इसको प्रूव कर सकते हैं कि Laplace transform of unit impulse function is always going to be 1. The thing is that you need to remember these things. What is step function? What is unit step function? What is ramp function? What is unit ramp function? Then parabolic function. Then what will be the Laplace transform of unit step, unit ramp, unit parabolic, and unit impulse function? You have to remember all these things. In the coming sessions, we are going to apply these functions directly in order to examine the behavior of time domain analysis of control system. I want you to please write down this. And finally, we conclude that the Laplace transform for a unit impulse function is nothing but 1, where this unit stand for area under that curve. This is very important. तो ये गेट में भी पूछा गया है theoretical question, RRB के भी एग्जाम में पूछा गया है, और भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में पूछा गया है. इन केस ऑफ यूनिट स्टेप, यूनिट स्टैंड फॉर व्हाट, और ऑप्शन दिया जाएगा मैग्नीट्यूड, एरिया, स्लोप, नन ऑफ अबव. देन इन दैट केस यू नीड टू टिक अ प्रॉपर आंसर. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने? प्लीज रिप्लाई कीजिए.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now write down next point of unit number 3. That is error signal and steady state error. What do you mean by error signal, and what do you mean by steady state error, and how to derive the mathematical expression to evaluate or to calculate the value of error signal or to calculate the value of steady state error. As of now, I told you that in order to study the performance of control system, we need to study its time response analysis. And when I say that we need to study time response analysis, we need to study their transient behavior as well as their steady state behavior. So by having a knowledge of steady state response of a control system, we are in a position to identify what will be the steady state error of that particular system. So steady state error is simply the difference between the output that is desired and the actual. अब जैसा मेरा एक कंट्रोल सिस्टम है, अगर मैंने उसे डिजाइन किया है आउटपुट 1 के लिए और मैंने उसको कुछ इनपुट दिया और ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट किया कि उसका आउटपुट क्या आता है, अगर वो 1 आ रहा है, then in that case the value of steady state error is nothing but 0. And if the value of actual output of control system is maybe say 1.1, then in that case 1 minus 1.1, which is nothing but 0.1 or minus 0.1. That 0.1 or minus 0.1 indicate the steady state error. So what is the mathematical expression to calculate the value of error signal and steady state error that we are going to learn in this section? So I want you to please write down next topic, error signal and steady state error. And in order to derive the expression for error signal and steady state error, let us consider a closed loop control system as shown below. So I want you to please write down step by step, क्योंकि अब से जो कुछ भी हम लोग पढ़ेंगे यहाँ पर आपको सभी आपको रियल नोट्स में लिखते चले जाना है. मेरी इंस्ट्रक्शंस का आप वेट मत करो, स्टेप बाय स्टेप आपने सब कुछ जो आपको अभी यहाँ दिख रहा है आपको एक एक करके लिखते चले जाना है. So let us consider closed loop control system as shown below, and this is the general representation of a closed loop control system. Here R of S indicate your reference input signal. This E of S is nothing but error signal, which is a combination of R of S minus B of S, and this B of S is nothing but your feedback signal. G of S is forward path gain, H of S is nothing but feedback path gain, and this C of S is nothing but controlled output. तो ये हमें already पता है. Now our objective is to derive the mathematical expression to calculate the value of error signal. That means our objective is to calculate the value of this E of S. तो ये E of S का expression क्या रहेगा in terms of forward path gain and feedback path gain, वो हम derive करेंगे. उसी के साथ साथ हम लोग ये भी derive करेंगे कि what will be the expression for steady state error. That means ये जो ESS होता है, ये ESS को निकालने का फॉर्मूला क्या रहेगा वो भी हम लोग derive करेंगे. ड्रॉ कर लिया आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now mathematically we can write C of S is nothing but E of S multiplied by G of S. Let this will be your equation number 1. So mathematically, if you see the forward path, we can write C of S is nothing but gain multiplied by excitation. So with respect to this forward path, the output is C of S, which is nothing but E of S multiplied by G of S. So let this will be your equation number 1. Now at summing point, we can write error signal is nothing but R of S minus B of S. Why minus? Because if you see the nature of feedback signal, it is negative. And because of this, we can write E of S is nothing but R of S minus B of S. Let this will be your equation number 2. And again from feedback path, we can write this B of S, because B of S is nothing but the output of feedback path. So which is nothing but input multiplied by gain. So here input is nothing but C of S multiplied by gain is nothing but H of S. So if you multiply this H of S by C of S, we can write the value of B of S. So we can write B of S is nothing but C of S multiplied by H of S. That this will be your equation number 3. Have you understood in what fashion we write this equation 1, 2, 3? समझ में आया कैसे लिखा?
Yes, sir.
Okay, already हम लोगों ने ये किया हुआ है, थोड़ा सा ट्विस्ट है, बाकी कुछ भी नहीं है. When we derive the expression for elimination of closed loop, वहाँ हम लोगों ने already ये process किया है. But now our objective is to derive the mathematical expression for error signal. So उस term में हम लोग इसको थोड़ा सा evaluate करेंगे. Now if you combine equation number 2 and equation number 3, so equation number 2 में LHS में आपके पास में error signal है और RHS में आपके पास में R of S है and B of S है. तो अब हम क्या करेंगे, ये जो B of S है in equation number 2 उसको replace करेंगे equation number 3 से, which is nothing but C of S into H of S. So by combining equation 2 and 3, we can write equation number 4. So error signal E of S is nothing but R of S minus B of S, but from equation number 3, B of S is nothing but C of S into H of S. This will be your equation number 4. Now, if you combine equation number 1 and equation number 4, now see here, our objective is we want the mathematical expression to calculate error signal. And error signal is nothing but E of S, which is very important. Now, if you see equation number 4, on LHS we are having E of S, but on RHS we are having C of S into H of S. So what we are going to do, we will replace the value of C of S from equation number 1. तो अब हम क्या करेंगे, equation number 4 में जो C of S है उसको replace करेंगे E of S into G of S से. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So write down next. स्टेटमेंट क्या रहेगा आपका? By combining equation 1 and equation number 4, we can write this. E of S is nothing but R of S minus C of S, but C of S की जगह अब हमने क्या लिख दिया? E of S into G of S लिख दिया into H of S. Now, because our objective is to derive the mathematical expression of error signal, So let us try to evaluate or solve this equation in terms of error signal. So if you shift this E of S component to LHS side and then take E of S common from these two equations and further solve, you will finally get the expression of error signal like this. So E of S is nothing but R of S whole divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. And let this will be your equation number 1. You may name this equation number 5 or equation number 6, but I have named this as equation number 1. So ultimately, the mathematical expression to calculate error signal in terms of frequency domain is E of S is nothing but R of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. This is very, very important. This you have to remember. The expression to calculate error signal. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, mathematically, steady state error is given by. Now, how to calculate steady state error? As I told you that steady state error is nothing but what? The value of error signal at time t equal to infinite. अगर मान लो आपके सिस्टम में आपको एरर कैलकुलेट करना है तो आप ये पता करो कि एरर सिग्नल का वैल्यू क्या है at time t equal to infinite. If the value of error signal is 0, that means steady state error is going to be 0. So mathematically we can write steady state error, which is nothing but ESS is equal to limit t tends to infinite E of t. So what is this E of t? This E of t indicate your error signal, but in time domain. This is very important. And this E of S indicate your error signal, but in frequency domain. This is very important. Both the things are same, but this indicate the value of error signal in frequency domain. And this indicate the value of error signal in time domain. So if you calculate the value of error signal in time domain at time t equal to infinite, whatever the value of error signal, that value of error signal is nothing but the steady state error of that particular system. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So mathematically we can write steady state error is nothing but ESS, which is equals to limit t tends to infinite E of t. So this is another formula to calculate the value of steady state error. So बहुत बार ऐसा पूछा गया है न्यूमेरिकल में कि आपको E of t का वैल्यू दिया रहता है और पूछा जाता है कि बताओ steady state error क्या रहेगा. So in that case you simply evaluate the value of that error signal for limit t tends to infinite. And whatever the value you are having with us, that value indicate the steady state error of that particular system. तो ये भी एक फॉर्मूला है जिसका यूज करके आप स्टेडी स्टेट एरर निकाल सकते हैं. बट अभी एक्सप्रेशन को हम लोग देखेंगे तो इक्वेशन 1 जो है वो इंडिकेट करेगा आपका स्टेडी एरर सिग्नल इन फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन. बट अगर आप ये इक्वेशन को देखोगे तो यहाँ हम लोगों ने क्या किया, जो आपका स्टेडी स्टेट एरर है उसको निकालने के लिए जो टाइम हमने या जो हमने सिग्नल डिफाइन किया है वो आपके टाइम डोमेन में है. एक केस में आपका सिग्नल फ्रीक्वेंसी में, एक केस में आपका सिग्नल टाइम में. तो डेफिनेटली वी नीड टू आइदर कन्वर्ट दिस signal from frequency to time or we need to rewrite this equation from time domain to frequency domain. तो अब हम क्या करेंगे, ये जो एक्सप्रेशन है स्टेडी स्टेट एरर का जो कि हम लोग अभी टाइम डोमेन में लिखा है, इसको हम लोग रीराइट करेंगे इन फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन. सो in order to rewrite this equation, which is limit t tends to infinite E of t in frequency domain, here we need to apply the concept of final value theorem. It is very important. So if you apply final value theorem over here, we can write steady state error, which is nothing but ESS is equals to limit t tends to infinite E of t. By the application of final value theorem, we can write this equation from time domain to frequency domain like this. Limit s tends to 0, s into E of s. This is very important. समझ में आया कि ये कैसे लिखा हमने फाइनल वैल्यू थ्योरम का एप्लीकेशन करके? इट इज सिंपली द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फाइनल वैल्यू थ्योरम. आई होप आप लोगों ने अप्लाइड मैथमेटिक्स में पढ़ा है इनिशियल वैल्यू थ्योरम एंड फाइनल वैल्यू थ्योरम. So if you apply the logic of final value theorem, we can write limit t tends to infinite E of t is nothing but limit s tends to 0, s into E of s. बहुत ही सिंपल है. Here if you see LHS, here we are having the representation of signal in time domain, and in time domain we are trying to find out the value of signal at time t equal to infinite, because we know that time and frequency are inversely proportional to each other. When I say that we are trying to find out the value of signal at time t equal to infinite. इसी का मतलब है कि वो सिग्नल का फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन में हम वैल्यू फाइंड करेंगे at s equals to 0. टाइम इनफाइनाइट है, इसी का मतलब फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या है आपका 0 है. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So that is what the application of your final value theorem. So if you apply final value theorem, we can write limit t tends to infinite e of t as limit s tends to 0 s into e of s. So अब हम क्या करेंगे, जो स्टेडी स्टेट एरर है उसको निकालने के लिए हम लोग ये एक्सप्रेशन जो है वो यूज करेंगे. कौन सा वाला? दिस वन, limit s tends to 0 s into e of s. But from equation number 1 we know that expression of error signal e of s, and what is that? It is simply r of s whole divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. So if you replace the value of this e of s and put that value in this equation, we can write the mathematical expression to calculate error signal in frequency domain. So the formula is something like that. Limit s tends to 0 s into r of s whole divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, I want everybody to please mute your microphone. I don't know किसका microphone on रह गया. Let me check. Okay. So this is what the mathematical expression to calculate the value of error signal in frequency domain. It is simply r of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. And then mathematically we can write steady state error is ESS, which is equals to limit t tends to infinite e of t. So to convert this from time to frequency, we need to apply final value theorem logic over here. So according to final value theorem, we can write limit t tends to infinite e of t as limit s tends to 0 s into e of s. Now from equation number 1, if you replace e of s as r of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s, we can write the modified formula to calculate steady state error as ESS, which is equals to limit s tends to 0 s into e of s. But from equation number 1, we know that e of s is nothing but r of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. So this is what the expression to calculate the value of steady state error. तो स्टेडी स्टेट एरर को निकालने के लिए बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. पहला रहेगा ESS is nothing but limit t tends to infinite e of t. This is one formula to calculate the value of steady state error, but make sure that the value of error signal must be in time domain. And suppose if you have the value of error signal in frequency domain, then in that case we need to use this expression, limit s tends to 0 s into r of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. This is very, very important and you have to remember all these formula. कब कौन से फॉर्मूले पे किस टाइप का न्यूमेरिकल फ्रेम होगा बता नहीं सकते. सो हर एक फॉर्मूले को आपको याद रखना है. समझ में आ रहा है क्या मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So finally, the expression of steady state error is limit s tends to 0 s into r of s whole divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. Let this will be your equation number 2, or you can see equation number 6. अगर आप सीक्वेंस में जा रहे हो तो इक्वेशन नंबर 6 हो जाएगा, या मेरे नोटेशन के हिसाब से जाओगे तो ये इक्वेशन नंबर 2 रहेगा. Now from this equation number 2, can you just tell me on what factor the value of steady state error depend? ये जो steady state error का value है वो कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स पे डिपेंड करेगा, आप बता सकते हो? लुक दिस इक्वेशन वेरी केयरफुली. इक्वेशन नंबर 2 पे फोकस कीजिए और बताइए कि जो एरर सिग्नल है वो किस किस पे डिपेंड करता है, या स्टेडी स्टेट एरर की वैल्यू किस पे डिपेंड करती है. यस प्लीज टेल मी. आपसे पूछ रहा हूं मैं, आपको बताना है. यस बताइए ना, इसमें क्या डिफिकल्टी है? कुछ भी तो नहीं है, जो दिख रहा है आपको बताना है. From this equation, it is very clear that the value of steady state error depends on what is this r of s. ये r of s क्या होता है?
Input.
एग्जैक्टली, रेफरेंस इनपुट सिग्नल। इसका मतलब है कि स्टेडी स्टेट एरर की वैल्यू जो है वो किस पे डिपेंड करती है, रेफरेंस इनपुट सिग्नल पे डिपेंड करती है। अगर आपके सिस्टम का रेफरेंस इनपुट सिग्नल चेंज होगा तो करस्पॉन्डिंग टू द चेंज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ आर ऑफ एस आपका स्टेडी स्टेट एरर भी क्या होगा, चेंज होगा। दैट इज द रीजन इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू चेक which type of step input signal we have chosen to analyze the behavior of that system in time domain, whether we are trying to apply step input signal or ramp input signal or parabolic input signal or impulse input signal. So जैसे जैसे आपका R of S change होगा, corresponding to that आपका steady state error भी उस system का change होगा। समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
कहने का मतलब है कि आपने डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द टाइप ऑफ सिस्टम आपको ये डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि ये सिस्टम का परफॉर्मेंस बेस्ट कौन से टाइप के इनपुट सिग्नल के लिए बना है। फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपने मान लो एक सिस्टम लिया, उसमें अगर आपने रैंप इनपुट अप्लाई किया और आपने पता किया कि स्टेडी स्टेट एरर की वैल्यू 0 आती है, लेकिन अगर वही सिस्टम को अगर आपने स्टेप इनपुट अप्लाई किया और पता किया कि स्टेडी स्टेट एरर की वैल्यू कुछ तो भी फाइनाइट आती है, तो आप उससे ये कंक्लूड कर सकते हो कि वो जो सिस्टम है वो सिर्फ रैंप इनपुट एक्साइटेशन के लिए ही बना है। उसको अगर आप स्टेप इनपुट सिग्नल दोगे तो वो काम करेगा लेकिन उसमें एरर आएगा। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
तो ये सब एनालिसिस अभी हमें करना है। अभी हमने सिर्फ एक पॉइंट कंक्लूड किया है, जो स्टेडी स्टेट एरर का वैल्यू है वो सिस्टम को किस टाइप का एक्साइटेशन आप प्रोवाइड कर रहे हो इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इनपुट, उस पर डिपेंड करेगा। रैंप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, पैराबोलिक अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, इंपल्स अप्लाई कर रहे हैं या फिर स्टेप अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द वैल्यू ऑफ आर ऑफ एस, ई ऑफ एस का वैल्यू भी चेंज होगा। सेकेंड थिंग, इफ यू सी द डिनोमिनेटर पॉलिनोमियल फंक्शन ऑफ दिस एक्सप्रेशन, दिस कंपोनेंट g of s into h of s, this is called as open loop transfer function of a system. G of s into h of s is called as open loop transfer function of a system, and normally the value of h of s is going to be 1. That's why open loop transfer function का value हम लोग हमेशा g of s लिखते हैं। But this g of s into h of s indicate the open loop transfer function of a control system. तो यहाँ से हमें एक और कंक्लूजन मिला कि जो एरर सिग्नल का वैल्यू है वो डिपेंड करेगा आपकी ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन ऑफ ए कंट्रोल सिस्टम पे। और अगर ये चेंज होता है, दैट मींस इफ द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ g of s into h of s चेंज, देन करस्पॉन्डिंग टू द चेंज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ दैट आपका स्टेडी स्टेट एरर भी एक तो कम होगा या फिर आपका ज्यादा होगा, वो भी चेंज होगा। तो द सेम थिंग इज मेंशन ओवर हियर। फ्रॉम इक्वेशन नंबर 2 वी कंक्लूड दैट, एंड आई वांट यू टू प्लीज नोट डाउन दीज 2 पॉइंट। फ्रॉम इक्वेशन नंबर 2 वी कंक्लूड दैट द वैल्यू ऑफ स्टेडी स्टेट एरर डिपेंड्स ऑन द फॉलोइंग फैक्टर। Number 1, it depends on the type of reference input signal. So it depends on the type of reference input signal, which is nothing but R of S. तो R of S की वैल्यू पे डिपेंड करेगा। अगर R of S चेंज होगा तो CSS भी चेंज होगा। In the same way, it depends upon open loop transfer function of a system, which is nothing but a product of G of S into H of S. So अगर आपका G of S into H of S का वैल्यू चेंज होगा तो आपका स्टेडी स्टेट एरर भी क्या होगा, चेंज होगा। दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो इस पे भी न्यूमेरिकल फ्रेम हो सकता है, थ्योरेटिकल क्वेश्चन फ्रेम हो सकता है कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग फैक्टर डिसाइड द वैल्यू ऑफ स्टेडी स्टेट एरर, और ऑप्शन में रहेगा ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन ऑफ सिस्टम, टाइप ऑफ रेफरेंस इनपुट सिग्नल, बोथ ऑफ दिस, नन ऑफ अबव। सो आंसर रहेगा आपका बोथ ऑफ दिस। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
तो कहने का मतलब है कि देयर आर n नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी टू फ्रेम MCQ क्वेश्चंस ऑन कंट्रोल सिस्टम। द थिंग इज दैट यू शुड नो, यू मस्ट हैव स्टडी इन दैट एस्पेक्ट। डिटेल में पढ़ना है, समझ के पढ़ना है, बाकी फिर कुछ भी आए आपने आंसर देना है। दैट्स इट। नाउ जस्ट राइट नाउ वी conclude that the value of steady state error depends on 2 factors. Number 1, it depends on the type of reference input signal, and number 2, it depends upon the nature of open loop transfer function. तो अब हम क्या करेंगे, नेक्स्ट से स्टडी करेंगे कि क्या होगा अगर मैंने मेरे सिस्टम का रेफरेंस इनपुट चेंज किया। तो दैट मीन्स फ्रॉम दिस इक्वेशन इट इज वेरी क्लियर दैट द वैल्यू ऑफ आर ऑफ एस जो है वो इन्फ्लुएंस करेगा आपका ESS को, या फिर आप स्टेडी स्टेट एरर को बोल सकते हो। तो अब हम ये स्टडी करेंगे कि अगर मैंने मेरे सिस्टम का रेफरेंस इनपुट चेंज किया तो एरर सिग्नल या फिर स्टेडी स्टेट एरर किस तरीके से वैरी होगा। फिर उसके बाद हम लोग ये स्टडी करेंगे कि अगर मैंने मेरे सिस्टम का जो ओपन लूप ट्रांसफर फंक्शन है, विच इज नथिंग बट द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ G of S into H of S, उसको वैरी किया तो स्टेडी स्टेट एरर किस तरीके से वैरी होगा। That means we are trying to analyze in detail these two factors, variation on steady state error value. Write down next point, effect of variation in reference input signal on steady state error. So अब हम ये देखेंगे कि अगर मैंने R of S का वैल्यू चेंज किया तो स्टेडी स्टेट एरर किस तरीके से चेंज होता है. अब क्योंकि मेरे पास में R of S जो है वो 3 अलग टाइप में या फिर 4 अलग टाइप में, एक बार हमारा स्टेप है, फिर रैंप है, फिर पैराबोलिक है. इंपल्स को हम लोग कंप्लीटली इग्नोर करते हैं बिकॉज इंपल्स जो है वो स्पेशल क्रिटिकल केसेस में यूज होता है. बट नॉर्मली इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड टू स्टडी द बिहेवियर और टाइम रिस्पॉन्स एनालिसिस ऑफ कंट्रोल सिस्टम, वी नीड टू गो फॉर स्टेप, रैंप और पैराबोलिक. तो अब हम ये चेक करेंगे कि अगर मैंने R of S की वैल्यू स्टेप रखा तो ESS क्या रहेगा, अगर रैंप रखा तो ESS क्या रहेगा, और अगर पैराबोलिक रखा तो ESS की वैल्यू क्या रहेगी. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
सो राइट डाउन. इसमें 2 या 3 पॉइंट डिस्कस करेंगे, बाकी आपने खुद करना है, एंड देन वी विल कंटिन्यू आवर लेक्चर इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन. So next point है effect of variation in reference input signal on steady state error in bracket ESS. So we are trying to identify what will be the value of ESS for ramp input signal, for parabolic input signal, and for step input signal. So we know that the mathematical expression to determine the value of steady state error is this one. ESS is nothing but limit S tends to 0, S into R of S upon 1 plus G of S into H of S. And this equation is nothing but equation number 2. Now in this case, we need to change the value of this R of S. So अब हम इसमें 3 सब cases लेंगे. In case 1, we will take the value of R of S as unit step input signal. So in case of unit step input signal, the value of R of S is nothing but 1 by S. So that 1 by S we are going to put in equation number 2 and then modify that equation. And then we will try to find out what will the value of steady state error for unit step input signal. Then case number 2 लेंगे जहां पर आपका R of S को हम replace करेंगे with the help of unit ramp input signal. तो वहां R of S बन जाएगा आपका 1 by S square. And then we put that 1 by S square in equation number 2. And then let us try to calculate what will be the value of steady state error in ramp input signal. In the same way, R of S हम case number 3 में replace करेंगे unit parabolic के case के लिए. Are you getting my point कि हमको अभी क्या करना है?
Yes, sir.
इसलिए मैं आपको बोल रहा था कि स्टेप, रैम्प, पैराबोलिक एंड इंपल्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड यू हैव टू रिमेंबर देयर लैप्लास ट्रांसफॉर्म. सो राइट डाउन केस नंबर 1. Let us consider that the nature of reference input signal is unit step function. This is your case number 1. Let us consider that the nature of reference input signal is step function. Now in case of step function, we know that the value of R of S is nothing but 1 by S. बरोबर है? स्टेप फंक्शन में R of S कितना रहेगा? यूनिट स्टेप फंक्शन में R of S 1 by S ही रहेगा ना?
Yes, sir.
Now put R of S equals to 1 by S in equation number 2. You will get this expression and then solve it. देखो कुछ कैंसिल होता है क्या? Definitely ये S और ये S कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. So if you modify this equation, you will get the expression of ESS something like this. So यहाँ मैंने लिमिट की प्रॉपर्टी भी अप्लाई कर दिया. लिमिट को न्यूमरेटर और डिनोमिनेटर फंक्शन में आपको अप्लाई करना है. So it will be something like this. ESS is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus limit S tends to 0 G of S into H of S. Let's verify कि आपको इक्वेशन मिलता है क्या? एक्सप्रेशन आएगा? Take your time, apply proper logic, replace the value of R of S by 1 by S, put that value of R of S in equation number 2, solve it, you will get this expression as an output. ESS equals to 1 upon 1 plus limit S tends to 0 G of S into H of S. Please tell me whether you are getting this answer or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, in this expression, this value, which is nothing but limit S tends to 0 G of S into H of S, we are going to indicate this particular value by some constant parameter or by some other, what we can say, notation indicated by symbol Kp. So this Kp is indicated by symbol limit s tends to 0 g of s into h of s. ये जो expression है उसको मैंने kp से indicate किया, and this kp is known as positional error coefficient. This is very important. Now we are going to define one more parameter in our time response analysis of control system, which is nothing but kp. So what is kp? Kp is called as positional error coefficient, and if you put the expression, or if you indicate the value of this expression via this particular parameter, which is nothing but kp, so instead of writing this entire expression, now we need to replace this by kp. So the modified formula to calculate steady state error in case of unit step input signal is this one. ESS is equals to 1 upon 1 plus kp, where kp is nothing but your positional error coefficient. And how to calculate the value of kp? So kp is nothing but limit s tends to 0 g of s into h of s. This you have to remember. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So in case of step input signal, the mathematical expression to calculate steady state error is this one. This one. ESS is equals to 1 upon 1 plus kp, where kp is nothing but your positional error coefficient. And the expression to calculate positional error coefficient is this one. Limit s tends to 0 g of s into h of s. तो अब हम ऐसे ही दो और नए एरर कोएफिशिएंट्स को डिफाइन करेंगे. जैसा हम लोगों ने अभी स्टेप इनपुट सिग्नल लिया तो वहां पर आपके पास में kp आया, वैसे ही अगर आप यूनिट रैंप इनपुट सिग्नल लोगे तो वहां पर आपके पास में वेलोसिटी एरर कोएफिशिएंट आएगा, इंडिकेटेड बाय सिंबल kv. In the same way, if you take parabolic input signal or unit parabolic input signal, then in that case we are going to have another error coefficient which is called as Ka, acceleration error coefficient. So positional for unit step, velocity for unit ramp, and acceleration for unit parabolic. These three you have to remember. So one by one we are going to derive them, but for time being let us remember this. In case of unit step input signal, the error coefficient is indicated by symbol kp, which is called as positional error coefficient, and the expression to calculate kp is limit s tends to 0 g of s into h of s, and in this case the value of steady state error is 1 upon 1 plus kp. समझ में आ रहा है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us try to analyze. I hope आपने ये सब लिख लिया है.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try to analyze case number 2. So in case number 2, what we are going to do, we will replace the value of r of s by unit ramp function or unit ramp input signal. So जो इक्वेशन नंबर 2 हमारे पास में था, जिसमें हम लोगों ने स्टेडी स्टेट एरर को डिफाइन किया था, लिमिट s टेंड्स टू 0 s into r of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. तो वहां अब हम जो r of s है, जिसको हमने केस नंबर 1 में यूनिट स्टेप से रिप्लेस किया था, अब हम उसको यूनिट रैंप से रिप्लेस करेंगे. So in this case the value of r of s is 1 by s square. बरोबर है? यूनिट रैंप के केस में ये रहेगा r of s.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us consider the nature of reference input signal as unit ramp. Therefore the value of r of s is 1 by s square. Now what we need to do, we need to put the value of r of s as 1 by s square in your equation number 2, जो हमारा reference case है. तो वहां अगर आप put करोगे तो you will get the value of expression for steady state error as limit s tends to 0 s into r of s. So this function indicate the value of r of s, 1 upon s square for unit ramp function, whole divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. Now this s and this s square will get cancelled, and if you apply the logic and if you apply the property of limit, you will get this. Steady state error is nothing but limit s tends to 0 1 upon s into g of s. Now इसी एक्सप्रेशन को मैं ऐसा भी लिख सकता हूं, लिमिट s tends to 0 of 1 whole divided by limit s tends to 0 s into g of s into h of s. ऐसा लिख सकते हैं ना? If you apply splitting property, limit numerator polynomial function denominator polynomial function को split हो जाएगा. So we can write the expression for steady state error like this: ESS equals to limit s tends to 0 1 upon s into g of s into h of s. Now in this case, this expression limit s tends to 0 s into g of s, which is like this, limit s tends to 0 s into g of s, इसको हम लोग indicate करेंगे एक another parameter से, indicated by symbol kv, and this is called as positional error coefficient. Now if you replace the value of this function by kv, so what will be the expression for steady state error? Steady state error का expression क्या हो जाएगा? Steady state error ESS is nothing but 1 divided by kv. क्या? Please confirm कीजिए.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is very important. So if you replace the value of limit s tends to 0 s into g of s by another parameter which is nothing but kv, so the expression to calculate steady state error is something like this, 1 upon kv, and this kv is called as velocity error coefficient, and hence we got the value of steady state error is 1 upon kv. This is very important. So in case of unit ramp input signal, we have another error coefficient which is called as velocity error coefficient, indicated by symbol kv. And what is the expression to calculate kv? Kv is nothing but limit s tends to 0 s into g of s into h of s. In case of unit step, we have kp, which is kp is nothing but positional error coefficient, and the expression to calculate kp is nothing but limit s tends to 0 g of s into h of s. वहां s नहीं आया था, यहाँ पर s आ गया है, तो ये आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
In the same way, try to solve case number 3. Apply the same logic, but in this case, we need to take reference input signal as unit parabolic function. So up till now, we take care about unit step, unit ramp. Now in case number 3, we need to go for unit parabolic. Same procedure आपको apply करना है. In case of unit parabolic function, what will be the value of r of s? R of s क्या हो जाएगा? कौन बताएगा?
1 upon s cube.
Yes, 1 upon s cube. Then you need to put the value of r of s as 1 upon s cube in base case or equation number 2. Therefore, equation number 2 is something like this. Then this s and s cube, तो यहाँ s square आ जाएगा. And then apply property of limit. You will get this expression. And if you further solve it, यहाँ पर भी आपके पास में एक expression आएगा. और यहाँ पर जो limit s tends to 0 है, s square into g of s into h of s, उसको हम लोग एक पैरामीटर से इंडिकेट करेंगे, which is nothing but acceleration error coefficient, indicated by symbol ka. This is very important. So if you apply the property of logic limit over here, we can write this, the value of steady state error like this, and then this value, that is limit s tends to 0 s square g of s into h of s, इसको हम लोग इंडिकेट करेंगे एक पैरामीटर से, which is nothing but ka, and this k is called as acceleration error coefficient. This is very important. Acceleration error coefficient, and hence the expression to calculate steady state error in case of unit parabolic input excitation is like this. So ESS is equals to 1 by ka. So these formulae you have to remember. So in case of step input signal, we have positional error coefficient, and the value of positional error coefficient is limit s tends to 0 g of s into h of s. And here the value of steady state error ESS is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus kp. बरोबर है? यही था? Please check and verify. रैम्प के केस में आपके पास अगर आप देखोगे तो इन केस ऑफ रैम्प इनपुट एक्साइटेशन वी हैव kv is called as positional error coefficient, sorry, velocity error coefficient, and the expression is limit s tends to 0, यहाँ पर आएगा s into g of s into h of s and if you try to calculate the value of steady state error, it is going to be equal to 1 upon kv. In the same way for parabolic input signal, तो parabolic input signal के केस में आपका k v के जगह आपके पास में आएगा k, and the expression for k is limit s tends to 0 s square into g of s into h of s, तो यहाँ square आ जाएगा, or the mathematical expression to calculate steady state error is 1 upon k. This is very important. So you have to remember this, because we know that the value of steady state error depends on the type of input excitation. So step में we have positional error coefficient, and the expression to calculate steady state error is 1 upon 1 plus kp. Then in case of ramp, we have velocity error coefficient, and the expression to calculate steady state error is 1 upon kv. And in case of parabolic input excitation, we have acceleration error coefficient, and the expression to calculate steady state error is 1 upon ka. This you have to remember. समझ में आया आपको?
Yes, sir.
Okay. और इसमें न्यूमेरिकल भी फ्रेम होता है, तो ये आपको सभी याद रखना पड़ेगा. So this is only one factor. From equation number 2, we conclude that the value of steady state error depends on two factors. Number 1, R of S, and number 2, open loop transfer function. तो अभी हमने सिर्फ एक ही फैक्टर को स्टडी किया है कि अगर आपका R of S चेंज होता है तो steady state error कैसे चेंज होगा. In next lecture, we are going to study the effect of open loop transfer function on the value of steady state error. In that case, we are going to define another concept which is called as the type of system. How to identify the type of system, whether it is type 0 system, type 1, type 2, type 3 or so on. And then we are going to analyze कि अगर आपने open loop transfer function को change किया या फिर type of system को change किया तो steady state error कैसे change होगा, corresponding to the change in steady state error आपका kp, kv, ka कैसे change होगा, that we are going to learn in next lecture. समझ में आया आज मैंने क्या पढ़ाया आप लोगों को?
Yes, sir.
This is very important, and I want everybody to please revise whatever the things I am teaching right now, especially from unit number 3, because ये सारे के सारे जो theoretical aspect है आपको बाद में use होंगे in order to solve numerical. हर एक topic पे numerical frame होता है. Numerical में आपको पूछा जाएगा कि एक system given है और try to find out its positional error coefficient और velocity error coefficient और acceleration error coefficient, या फिर ऐसा भी न्यूमेरिकल पूछा जाता है कि एक सिस्टम गिवन रहेगी और पूछा जाएगा कि फाइंड आउट द एक्सप्रेशन फॉर स्टेडी स्टेट एरर इफ द सिस्टम इज एक्साइटेड बाय यूनिट रैंप इनपुट सिग्नल और यूनिट पैराबोलिक इनपुट सिग्नल और यूनिट स्टेप इनपुट सिग्नल. तो हर एक केस के लिए आपको फॉर्मूलेस पता होने चाहिए.